Welcome to Airship Archaeology, featuring Taylor, Isaac, and Sam. I am the announcer guy, and I am excited to be here. On to the show.
Welcome to what? Welcome to what?
Welcome to the podcast. Airship Archaeology, Dig 2.
Woo! Okay, so it's only, what, like a year and a half, 2 years later? I think it's actually 2 years later. So at this pace, we'll be at episode 10 in like 20 years. We'll be like 40.
Not bad.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Let's okay, real quick, introduce ourselves. Our voices probably changed a lot in the last little bit. My name is Sam Smith. My name's Sam. With me is
Taylor.
And Isaac.
And you may have noticed, because it's already 10,000 times better than our first podcast, Travis Sitton is no longer with us.
My name is Mike.
Sans Trav. And something special about this little podcast is the fact that I'm in Spokane, Taylor's in Seattle, and Isaac's in Kent. So this is a little Skype cast is what we call this. For our long time, yeah, Taylor's just. Can I get a toilet flush, Taylor?
Wait.
So for our long-time loyal listeners, they'll remember that last podcast we said that in a year and a half, but I figured 2 years close enough, we would talk about Taylor defrauding the state when it came to the scholarships for school. Now that we are all graduated from Seattle Pacific University, would you maybe like to enlighten us, Taylor?
What am I enlightening you on? What have I done?
You defrauded the state.
Defrauded.
This was the joke I made.
State.
Because you pretended to be in psychology forever. Something like that.
Yeah. That's right. That was good. No, that's how everyone should live life. You pretend to be something until the very last minute. And then you end up with a lot of friends. Usually. At least I did, man.
Mm-hmm.
I have great friends. I live with one of my other theology majors. He's cool.
Who's that?
Trevor.
Okay, yeah. Maybe we'll have him on as a guest sometime.
Trevor Osterban, the guest.
Mm-hmm. So, what's new with you guys in the last 2 years?
Isaac is a pixel. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, you beautiful listeners, we are looking at each other's beautiful faces via Skype. Trademark Skype, I believe. Oh, I'll tell you what's new in this last few years. After moving out of 3820, RIP, miss you. I went to Vancouver for a little bit and lived a little bit of life down there. Rather stressed. I lived not very much life because I didn't really do anything except look for places to live. Then I came up here in Seattle. Literally, how many numbers is that? 12 numbers away from my other house at 3808, 13th Avenue West. And gosh, I'm gonna have stalkers now. I didn't think that.
No, but you didn't say the street name.
No, it's not even real.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I came up here, still working in my old job, having a good old blast. Lived with 7 dudes. I'm number 8 of 7 of 8. Yeah. And it's pretty much a party house, man. Living life how it goes. We only party with really fancy things too. I mean, I only drink Chateau Beauregard Lager Pro Graves from the Bordeaux region of Western France. Thank you.
Well, that's a French name. It's very French.
Mm-hmm. Isaac, what's new with you?
It's one of the most French names of the day.
Oh my gosh, but speaking of French,
Yeah.
I learned my name, Taylor, comes from French, then Old French, and then Classical Latin. How cool is that? That's cool.
Wow. What does it
Anyway,
mean?
Isaac, what do you mean? Stripling.
Perfect.
You can define that however you wish.
Yeah, I was gonna say for the listeners that don't know what that is, what does that mean?
Well, they used to call what used to be called a stripling now is usually referred to as a stripper.
Oh, okay. It's so very suitable.
Kidding. No, it's like when you have a branch from a tree, you cut off a branch,
Branch.
and you strip off all the twigs,
Mm-hmm.
make like a shaft.
Mm-hmm.
The stripping of twigs. That's a talaya.
What motion do you make to create the shaft?
Like this.
Can you describe it?
Sometimes like
Okay. Yeah.
like this.
Yeah, for the podcast.
I can't describe it.
Okay.
Save it for the vlogcast.
Yeah. We don't want to get marked as explicit, so.
Wait, I'm not even gonna say any cuss words. I promise.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Isaac, what's new with you?
Well, I try to live my life in a way that prevents change. I try to be the same person that I was at the age of 11. I've tried to live that way for the past 2 years. Which means to say I'm really big into Star Wars and video games at the moment. No. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, finish school. It's job search. It's fun stuff.
Nice. It's the place to be. See, I just love school so much and didn't want to do the job search so much that I just went to more school. Yeah, so I out here in Spokane, Washington, going to Gonzaga University for law school. Also, fun fact, you two know, though you did not go to my wedding, I am now married. So, for those of you that also listened long time, you'll remember last podcast I talked about an ex-girlfriend that I had. Now, fun fact, dating Travis, and I am not married to that person. I'm married to a new person, and we're very happily married for about 6 months. 6 months in 7 days. So far, so good.
Congratulations. What a lovely little, weirdly tightly knit podcast group we have here.
Mm-hmm.
Your ecosystem of relationships.
So good, so good.
Hey, Sam,
Yes.
would have been way cooler. Would have been cooler if you just married me.
I mean, I think at the time when I was really thinking about that, I'm not sure if it was allowed yet. But I mean, yeah, of course. Way cooler.
Okay.
We could have been shit.
I'll forgive you.
Thank you. I appreciate. I mean, I think we're even because you didn't go to my wedding, so it's okay. It's okay.
Ouch. Okay. So that twice now. Thanks. I get it.
No, it's just I'm not only hopefully gonna get married once, so kind of missed it. But
No, because by common law, because neither of us went to your wedding, Sam, we're both eligible to be your spouse now.
Oh, that's good.
as someone in law school, so an expert of the law, I think that's maybe a little flawed. I'm not sure though.
Hey man, I've read the internet.
Mm-hmm. This podcast, though, we're currently like 2 hours into trying to get this podcast going, and we're still only 8 minutes into the podcast, we had a difficult time. Thanks to Taylor. Thanks to Taylor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bad.
It's okay.
I suck. Suck a lot.
Mm.
Hey, I mean, if we would have done it the old way, though, I could only look at one of your guys' head at once, but in this case, I could look at both.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of cool.
Nice. You got those alien eyes, bro?
Yeah, got the chameleons.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're the soundboard, remember?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
So, Sam, what's the weather like?
The weather like? Let me, 1 second. Hey Siri, what's the weather like?
Here's the weather between today and February 8th, 2016.
What's the temperature?
It's 28 degrees Fahrenheit outside.
It's currently 28 degrees and cloudy, but that's what it is because it's summer. Oh, for those of you keeping track, it is January 30th, 2016. Currently 9:53 Pacific Standard Time.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm. So currently, I live in an apartment that is underneath, so it's like the basement level of a house. And I was trying to set up change, so there's a dynamic IP address for this place, and I was trying to set it up so that it would be a static IP address, so we could have a Minecraft server going on. See, I know enough to be stupidly dangerous, but not enough to like actually do what I need to do. And so there was about 30 minutes where I was freaking out because I changed the IP address to what I thought would work, and instead it just completely sucked the internet away from this house. And I was hearing their footsteps above, and every time I was just expecting them to come around and come downstairs and get mad at me, even though there's no reason for them to know that I did anything. Luckily, Isaac helped me through it. Went on a little phone call, and you got it all fixed.
Good job, Isaac.
Thank you. I am a master at Googling things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, in my defense, I couldn't Google because the internet was broken. So.
Yeah. We forgot to mention that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you guys want to hear my weather?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Hey, Siri. What's that? She's tired.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Siri. Hey, Siri.
This is podcast gold.
I can't.
We'll edit it out. It's become like Carmen
Hey,
Town.
Siri.
Edit it out every time.
Hey there, she said. What's the weather? Oh, after. What's the weather like?
I don't know where you are, but you can help me find out. Or you can just tell me where to check the weather.
Hey, Siri. Weather in Seattle, Washington.
Here's the weather for Seattle, Washington between today and February 8th, 2016.
Well, I'll tell you. It's 41 degrees Fahrenheit. Today is also
That's balmy.
Saturday. Saturday is the weather. That's it.
Alright, well I gotta complete this right. So, alright, okay Google. Weather report.
Boo, Google.
Weather report.
Yeah, get some
It is currently 38
Astorius
degrees.
in here, man.
Washington. If only.
I was hoping you were gonna play the Astorius bird and the weather report. It's pretty good.
If only. If only we were a music review podcast. Although a lot of podcasts seem to get away with playing licensed music. Like, if you don't make any money on it, nobody's going to sue you, theoretically. So.
I don't know. I'm not sure if that's a line that we want to toe. I think.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. We don't want to deprive anyone of this podcast. So.
Sure.
Yeah, we need to spread our message as far and wide as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go. So, has everybody here seen the new Star Wars?
Yes.
No, I have not.
You
Sorry.
have not?
I don't really care though. You can talk about it. I'm so sorry.
Well, no. Here's the thing: is Sam, I don't think has heard my amazing, brilliant story of a thing that happened when I went to see Star Wars.
Has Taylor?
Yes.
Oh, well.
Oh, I've heard this. Okay.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I've heard it. No,
Yeah.
tell it.
Yeah. So, for the podcast, for our international audience for the podcast, my sister and I went to see Star Wars a few weeks after it had come out, and we went and sat down in the movie theater. I said something to her in French, which we both speak passably well, but not great. She said something back in French, and we decided, well, we should probably only talk in French until the movie starts, right? And I go, yeah, probably. And so we're just sitting there talking about whatever, riffing stuff, talking about the movie. And that, the usual pre-roll that you get before the movie with random commercials and ads and stuff like that wasn't playing.
Mm-hmm.
Just silence in the theater except for us. And so we're just talking in French for 20-30 minutes. A couple guys sit next to my sister just about before the movie starts, and they start talking to each other. I can't hear what they're saying. Afterwards, my sister comes over and she says, "Did you hear what those guys were saying?" Like, no. They said, "Are those people speaking French?" And the other guy goes, "Yeah." First guy goes, "If they're speaking French, what are they doing here?" He goes, "I don't know. But if they're here, they probably speak English."
That second guy doesn't seem like an idiot. First guy.
No.
Not so sure.
No, for sure.
Mm-hmm. So,
Very briefly,
Mhm.
your thoughts on the new Star Wars?
I really liked it. There's a lot of people that talk about how it's kind of just a remake of, was it A New Hope, I believe. And I mean, there's similarities, but I feel like, especially after the dumpster fire that was episode 1, 2, and 3, you kind of needed to go back to the formula, like, at least for the one episode, to get people just, like, excited about the new Star Wars coming out. And plus, I mean, honestly, for me, one of my favorite characters was, one, Poe Dameron. He's a dreamboat. And I've seen the movie twice. And, by the way, if you haven't seen it, spoiler alert, just stop listening for like 45 seconds. But I'm going to keep talking about it. So the scene at Maz's castle, not you, Taylor, where the First Order comes in and starts attacking, but then the Resistance comes flying over the water.
2 hours.
Yeah.
First of all, that's like my favorite scene because it gives me goosebumps. But then also Poe, you just see him flying all around and shooting people down, and it's like it gave me that scene gave me goosebumps both times that I saw it. But also, I actually really, yeah, in the span of like 8 seconds. But honestly, I actually really like Kylo Ren, just because I like the idea of a really emotional dark side person, and the idea that you're more tempted by the light side, you get that perspective. But I really liked it.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was just really competently shot. Really competently put together.
Mm-hmm.
Where the first three, they tried a lot of stuff the prequel movies did, but it just wasn't, they didn't have it going on. I think the complaints about it being unoriginal are a little bit silly because the very first Star Wars was a complete rip-off of the classic Campbellian kind of hero's journey and his old Western movie stereotypes and stuff, and so it was a new setting, but it wasn't really anything original on its own.
Yeah.
It's just really well done, which I think this new one was too.
I would say it's hardly a new setting if it was a Western game, because Tatooine's pretty standard.
Yeah. Sure. What about you, Taylor? I know you haven't seen the new Star Wars, but any favorite movie of the year? Do you have one?
last year. I haven't seen the movie this year yet.
Yep, of
I
2015.
was
Yeah.
going to go see The Revenant, but I haven't yet. But I saw Room, which was a novel by Evan Donahue about this. What is it? So it's this young mother and her son who were kidnapped, and they live in this room. You know, it's in actually this flippin' creepo's shed in his backyard, and it's like sealed off, and they can't go out. They haven't been out in she hasn't been out in like 8 years or something. So he feeds them, and it's totally creepy. But the movie was just so emotionally powerful. Like I was weeping half the time, and just totally well shot. Good music. They had like the Mighty Rio Grande and the epic part, which made me go. You know, it's so good, so emotional.
Was that the what sound was that for the soundboard?
That was good music at good timing.
Okay. That or climax, but either one.
Let me know if you want me to do it again. No, but so the novel kind of scares people off because it's really dark. It's really emotional. But the movie I thought they kind of toned it down. I haven't read the book yet, so I don't really know. But I'm pretty sure they kind of toned down the darkness in it, kind of made it more artsy, but not in a bad way. Just more beautiful. Really, really worth the watch. I happen to go see it free through my work.
Yeah, actually,
So worth it.
hadn't heard of that. So I hadn't heard of it, so I'll check it out.
Yeah. And there's also The Room with a definite article.
Oh, hi, Mark. What about you, Isaac?
I had two that I really liked this year. I'm gonna double up on the movie Rex. The first was The Big Short, which was adapted from the Michael Lewis book, who also wrote Moneyball and all this other stuff about. Ben, The Big Short is about the financial crisis and a group of people that sort of saw it coming and essentially bet on it happening, bet against the American economy, which was kind of insane. It seemed at the time, but it was really interesting, like cinema style to it, and told an important story, I think. The other one was actually a stop motion animated film, Anomalisa, which was made by the Starburn Studios, which is run by community creator Dan Harmon, and it's a Charlie Kaufman script. Charlie Kaufman is a writer you know from things like Eternal Sunshine and Synecdoche, New York, if you've seen either of those. But anyway, it was completely brilliant script, all about this guy who's kind of depressed and very inward looking, and his attempts to deal with the world, kind of. But the stop motion part of it was really amazing too. The kind of range of emotion and stuff that they got out of it was just really awesome. So I would recommend both of those.
What was the second one again?
Anomalisa.
Anomalisa.
Yep, like Anomaly and Lisa.
Ah, okay, cool.
It's in pretty limited theater release. There's one theater in the U District, which is where I saw it, that has it. I don't know if there's one in Spokane or not, but I assume it'll come out on digital release pretty soon.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of those movies, and so that's good to check out. I feel like that's the theme of whenever we talk about movies, is you guys mention these movies, and I go, oh, I haven't seen them. I'd say, I don't know, I haven't seen that many movies this past year, just because there's been a lot of change, like graduating from college and moving and starting law school and getting married. But the one I'd say that I saw that was just enjoyable, that I just had a really good time watching, was The Martian. Have you guys seen that? Yeah, and it's just I really liked the sense of humor with it. I think Matt Damon did a great job. But then what I really liked too is that it sent me to the book, and I'm only like 7 chapters into the book now. But if you haven't read it, I would highly recommend it. The writing style is just great. So I have a recommendation for you guys. it's more a proposition. So, again, for long-time listeners, if you recall, we talked about the Jurassic Park last episode, and I made the confession that I had not seen the whole movie. Taylor, Isaac, would you be interested in maybe watching it within the next week or two, and next time we record a podcast, maybe we could do a little bit of in-depth discussion about Jurassic Park?
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah, just because I've never seen it. Again, still have not ever seen it, and I want to give myself pressure to do so. So, yeah, cool.
Wait. Let's do it.
Sounds good. So whenever we do this podcast in another like 3 years, I'll be sure to have seen it by then. Yeah.
I'll probably watch it twice, so I remember it better.
Yeah.
It's always better to watch a movie twice.
Mm-hmm.
Both. Or if you're Isaac, you reread a 21 novel series twice.
Hey, I've got the audiobooks, Jack. It's easy listening.
Hey, that was a segue, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So what book series, Isaac?
This is it's a series by an author named Patrick O'Brien. The series that Taylor's referring to is a series by an author named Patrick O'Brien, who's an American who thinks he's Irish, but writes about these two characters named Aubrey Maturin and Stephen Maturin and Jack Aubrey, that are hanging out in the Napoleonic Wars. Take two. Jack Aubrey and Stephen Maturin, who are hanging out in the Napoleonic
Hey,
Wars.
they're from that one book by Patrick O'Brien. I remember those guys.
I'll cut out that first part, Isaac. Don't worry.
That sounds good.
No cuts. No regrets.
Yeah.
No cuts. They're hanging out in the Napoleonic Wars. They're both Aubrey is a captain in the Royal Navy, eventually spoilers, and Maturin is this Irish Catalan spy guy who's also a doctor, and they run around and have adventures. But it's it's a really neat little world to kind of to have and explore with those two characters.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very funny in a very, very dry English-esque kind of way too.
So you say he's an American? No, go ahead. Do it. Nope.
I was going to change the topic, but
It's okay. I was scratching at nuts. So go ahead.
I don't want to be that TMI guy.
I was gonna ask, talking about books, what is everyone reading now?
Oh, actually, very
I'm
top.
just reading the Aubrey Maturin books.
Okay. Very topical question because my New Year's resolution is actually to read 52 books this year. So trying to.
Wow, really?
Yeah. Okay, you knew that already, but it's news to Isaac, I think.
Nope, I was on that call too.
Oh,
But cheers.
what? Oh, well, okay. The listeners. It's for the listeners. And currently, I'm reading A Tale of Two Cities, and
Hey, cool.
I'm actually loving it.
Yeah, I remember that. I'm not actually surprised.
Yeah. And that was probably the one book in high school that I just completely blew off. And now that I'm reading it, I was the stupidest ninth grader in the world because it's a brilliant book. I don't know, like I just find myself enthralled throughout like the whole thing. So far, so good. Mm-hmm.
Little pitch here. Pitch, not pinch. For a brilliant Dickens joke, you should watch Black Books. It's on Netflix. Isaac, I think I made you watch them.
Is that British show?
First, dude. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
British. He's the main character's Irish. He owns a bookshop.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Dickens joke. I'm reading. What?
Oh, shit. You can see why it appeals to you. Anyway, Irish bookstore owner,
I can
who drinks a lot.
Mm.
Diddly deep potatoes. What I'm reading right now is Gödel Escher Bach by what's his name? Douglas Hofstad. German. Or as the masses say, Gödel Escher Batch.
Batch.
But it's I don't even know how to describe it yet. I've only read the introduction so far, which is like a quarter of the book, mind you. But it's kind of about the golden ratio and how in consciousness it's technically philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
The Life of Congress or the shelf somewhere in the philosophy section, I'm pretty sure. But I have a few friends, a couple friends in my classics major who'd read it. And, how have you not read this and think you're smart? So I'm reading it now.
Mm-hmm. And you think you're smart, so.
Man, your friends are jerks.
I don't even think that I've known them for like 23 years. So, you know.
Straight out the womb. Wow.
Yep.
It's a smart baby. Smart Tay baby.
Quoting Socrates. It's like, welcome to the world, me, to be or not to be. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Shakespeare, not Socrates. But, you know, it's just quoting those old white dudes.
Isaac, we already talked about books. We know what you're reading. Never mind. Don't say it. We've heard enough.
Visual bits on an audio podcast.
So, speaking of podcasts,
Also talk.
go ahead. Taylor, you first.
No, I was going to say, speaking of book, every listener who ever listens to this should make the trip to Seattle and go to my bookstore and buy a book from me.
What's the name of the bookstore?
It rhymes with Mikrit Darden Bookstore.
If you can't figure that out, you don't deserve to go. So.
Copyright.
Mm-hmm. Here's my I personally guarantee a $5 discount at the bookstore. Tay, you just give them a $5 discount, and then I'll Venmo you some money. So you just gotta drop in.
And they can get a $10 discount off of our podcast too.
Mm-hmm.
We'll pay you to listen.
That might be what we need. I mean that could get us off the ground, you know.
Well, no, all we need to do is like pay someone really famous to listen to it,
and then tweet about it.
Yeah, he'd love it, man.
Is he relevant?
He's pretty relevant. Haven't you seen his movie?
He has a movie?
Yeah, I've never finished it. It's really bad.
Okay.
Yeah, he has the movie. I can't even remember what it's called.
Mm-hmm. So, Isaac, I know you're switching topics. I know that you are an avid podcast listener. I don't know about you, Taylor. Maybe I can learn something new about you. Taylor's shaking his head no on an audio podcast. Thank you very much. Any recommendations? Anything you're listening to currently?
You want me to pimp our competitors?
I mean, I think we're all really brothers and sisters in this podcastian world.
Yeah, no. It's kind of like how, you know how the car companies got together and it's like, whenever any of us makes an ad, more people buy all cars. So it's kind of like that where we, we just got to have everybody listen to more podcasts. Yeah, no. Well, if I were to recommend an adversarial podcast to us, I would probably recommend the Hello Internet podcast featuring YouTube video creators CGP Grey and Brady Heron.
Mm.
They started out discussing bits of their YouTube business and kind of how they work and stuff like that. But they've branched out to talking about, like this most recent episode, they talked about the book Guns, Germs, and Steel,
Mm-hmm.
which is an interesting and controversial work of sort of history-ish. And they talk about lots of interesting things like that. And they're after having 60 episodes or so of this podcast, they of course have their own little silly rapport and little in-jokes, and it's
Of course.
like listening to an old married couple, sort of.
It's amazing how we were able to get that in a podcast and a half, It just feels like we've been around for 60 episodes. It's just so natural.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, so they both have podcast channels, as you said, and CPG Grey is just his podcast channel's title, correct?
Yeah, that's his YouTube channel. Yeah, CGP Grey.
And that, I would highly recommend that. I love those little informational videos, a lot of geography stuff. But something I've been listening to recently, and I heard about him, I forget how, so never mind. But his podcast is called 99% Invisible, and he's a designer of sorts, I believe, and he takes like bits of life that we don't really normally notice, like that he would consider, I guess, like 99% invisible, and just kind of flushes them out, and it kind of feels very NPR, This American Life-ish, but it's only about like 20 minutes. And so Taylor, you should get in on that and start listening to some podcasts.
What's it called?
99% Invisible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you heard the one about?
I'm gonna
flags,
write that
Sam?
down.
What was that?
Have you heard the one about flags?
Flags, yes.
Philology?
Mm-hmm. That's actually the first thing I heard about him.
Yeah, partly because the Hello Internet podcast, I found them and kind of started getting into vexillology, or the study of the design of flags, which is an interesting field for sure.
Mm-hmm.
At least to me, but I'm a nerd, so.
Yeah. But I mean,
Everybody nods in approval. Mhm.
I mean, it just goes without saying. So, but I think for those that don't know, Isaac is an Wisconsinite in his past. Now he's a Washingtonian, but his heart's always been in Wisconsin. And Madison, Wisconsin, for those of you that have not seen the flag, this is coming from someone who is not partial to Madison, Wisconsin in any way, has one of the best flags that I've ever seen. So, Google that right now. I'm going to do that. Let's see.
It's a fantastic flag. It's very pretty. It has great symbolism. It's awesome.
By the way, those of you listening, you can thank Isaac for the wonderful intro music that you heard at the beginning of this episode, and just also for the outro music that you'll hear at the end. Spoiler alert. We came prepared.
This is going to end?
I mean, in like a decade or so, yeah.
Okay.
I want at least 500 episodes.
No, I meant this particular episode. It's going to end?
I mean, sooner or later I'll have to get up to go to the bathroom. But
that's not an obstacle.
Bring your tablet, man. Bring it.
Okay. Sounds good.
Live. Here we go. Cool. Okay, everyone be quiet.
Well, it's going to take a while.
Well, it's going to take a while.
Is this I feel like this is probably a podcast first. We're making podcast history.
Oh, perhaps. I really wish I
Nah, it's okay. You don't want to force it.
You're right.
Mm-hmm. You don't want to hold it either.
Should we talk more or less to help you?
No, you can. I'm going right now, so you're good.
Good.
I don't got no stage fright.
Well, that sounded almost like Taylor's sound effect.
No, that was Taylor. Yeah.
Listen to me, man. Sam, this isn't even. This is always sound effect.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a radio play.
Yeah, man.
And back to my office. Real quick. Do a pull up. One armed. Oh God, got it.
Oh man, you're so buff.
Hey, yeah, thank you. Mm-hmm.
You have the muscles for vlogging.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how that goes?
I got a voice for podcasting and a muscles for vlogging.
Oh, vlogging. Yeah.
Yeah, for blogging.
What else is there to talk about? I've checked the weather.
Mm-hmm.
Talked about the books I'm reading.
Oh,
That's pretty much
you
all
guys
I do.
You guys hear about Japan?
Did we hear about Japan? I have heard of it. Yes.
Yeah, no. They went to negative interest rates the other day.
Is that really what we've come to? We've come to talking about interest rates of foreign countries?
I mean, you can cut it out. It's like if Taylor's going, hey, we got the weather, what else?
I mean, that's true.
Some economics.
Hey, no, it's Airship Archaeology, no cuts. That's really what we're all about here. You get everything all together.
Airship Archaeology is the most mainstream, non-offensive podcast possible.
Mm-hmm. So, negative interest rates?
Yeah, no, it's just it's an interesting move. It's drastic for thing for a country to do.
I would
but
say it's negative interesting.
there it is.
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta give me my cue.
That's our show. Just kidding.
That's it.
Yep. I mean, all you... Taylor with our outro music. Hey, Taylor, can we get a slide whistle?
Oh, shoot.
Yeah,
That was me.
that was Isaac. Can we get a cat stepping on its own tail?
Oh, meow, my tail. Oh.
I think we'll have to work on that, but that's okay.
No way. Just shoot me another. I'll nail it. Promise.
Isaac, what do you got for him?
Oh boy. Give me a giraffe with mild depression.
Meow. I'm so tall.
That sounded a bit short, but it was alright.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If I had to give you some notes on that, I would say 1, yeah, sound taller. 2, you sounded more bemused as opposed to depressed. So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm taking notes.
Yeah. Hey, you better practice your sound effects because I'm gonna be making a list of things that I want, and it's gonna be long and it's gonna be extensive. So.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'll practice.
Yeah. Should we do ASMR portion of the podcast right now?
Yeah. What's that mean?
It's you know, when you whisper and you tickle your listeners' ears and you. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
It reminds me of that time I ate a lot of macaroni.
This rustling paper. How's that sound? I mean, any good podcast needs at least an A. We'll have an ASMR section every podcast for at least 15 seconds. Can look forward to that.
We'll make money for sure.
I figure, like, we're not great at anything when it comes to podcasting.
Yeah.
So we might as well just be bad at a lot of things. You know, cast a big net wide and you'll catch a lot of fish.
Cast a big pod even.
Mm.
Cast a big fish wide and catch a lot of net.
Oof. That's straight wisdom right there.
I heard if you just flip around your sentence, you sound very philosophical.
Mm-hmm.
Put a question mark at the end. I mean, how big is a fish?
Is the fish big?
See? Man, I'm stumped. That's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ah.
But seriously, practice your sound effects.
I'm gonna get some kids' books with like the phonetic spelling of their sounds. I
Mm-hmm.
don't even know what a giraffe sounds like.
Let's
Hey Siri. Man, it doesn't work. Not speak loud enough.
giraffe sounds.
What does a giraffe sound like?
Giraffe sounds when you Google, the first result is Sonida de la Jirafa.
I found this on the web for what does a giraffe sound like.
I got it. Wait for it.
Science World.
Oh my god.
So with this new input of knowledge, Taylor, can you give us a depressed giraffe?
Yeah.
That actually pretty good. I really got the height in that. I could really tell.
Oh yeah, man, I was going for that.
Yeah.
I was going for at least 2 stories.
Oof. You nailed it. Mhm. Yeah, I mean, it's good to just get back on that podcast and train. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, no,
Feels good.
Mhm.
this was like the new Star Wars movie. It was a good first one back.
Mhm.
We hope for more good in the future.
Really good things to build on.
I literally haven't talked to another human being since the last podcast, so this is really fun.
Mhm. I'm surprised you really have the voice still going on, but.
Yeah. Well, I practice. I have a nice mirror.
Mhm.
What's its name?
I haven't named him yet.
Oh.
I hate it when he gets naked.
Oh, I understand.
He does it so often when I don't want him to.
Especially when you're naked is the problem.
Yeah.
Every time.
Always changing when I'm changing.
If it just wasn't the concurrent nakedness, it'd be fine.
I hate that.
Just.
A little respect.
Mhm. Yeah, but.
Speaking of weakness, one of my favorite classical pieces is Maurice Ravel, his Miroirs. They're really good. Just give them a listen.
Could you?
Spelled like mirror, but in French, don't know how to spell it. Miroi.
Mhm.
Yes.
Sounds right.
On that high note, I think it's about time to about time to wrap up. You know, go our separate ways.
And got this and Airship Archaeology. Let's take the spin to the end. I got the end. I'm a depressed giraffe.
We'll stop there.
Hey, Sarah.
Hey, Sarah.
That was
Sarah, come here. Come here. Say hey.
Hi.
Oh,
Can you introduce yourself?
that segment.
It's our first guest. Yeah, come on. We'll interview you. Okay, so I'll tell you what they're asking. You guys have any questions for Sarah? Well,
Yeah, Sarah,
I'm Sarah.
depressed giraffe.
can you pretend to be a depressed giraffe?
So Am I supposed to be
You're
Sarah
supposed to be
the
making the
depressed
giraffe. No, you're just a depressed giraffe
Oh.
Or
and depressed giraffe. You can make noises, you know. You gotta listen to Taylor's. Here you go. Put this in. Here you go, Taylor. Show her how it's done.
We're gonna keep one of you.
We
Mine was pretty good.
we looked up the sounds. Yeah. Sarah, who are you?
they say in England it's
Right.
mediocre.
Who are you, Sarah?
Who am I?
Yeah, who are you?
I'm Sarah Smith.
Smith. My last name's Smith.
Might be because I'm married to you.
Oh. Because I think this is a momentous occasion having our first guest on the podcast. Yeah, it's pretty exciting. You have any wisdom, knowledge you want to share? You're on the spot.
I know.
Our listeners expect a lot.
Here's my piece of advice. It's rude to put people on the spot when they just got home.
Okay, well that ends our guest segment. We'll see you never. Boop. Yeah. She. Mm.
I can't even count on all my hands how many times I've put people on the spot. Isaac, have you ever put people on the spot?
15 times. Let me tell you about each of the times. The first time was in Madison, Wisconsin. When I put a duck on a pond. The second time was when I couldn't do anymore. I'm not an improv guy.
You set yourself up for 15. You can only get one.
I'm not an improv guy, so stop improving at me.
Hey. Really, I put myself on the spot.
Okay, Isaac, you're not the improv guy. I think we both know that Taylor and I are that. Can you set up a scene for Taylor and I to do?
Okay. So Sam is the barista at a coffee shop,
Mm-hmm.
and Taylor needs a date to prom. Sam's behind the counter. Taylor's walking up to the counter, and go.
Hi, welcome to a Star Coffee. How may I help you?
What kind of roast do you have?
We have a multi-blend dark light roast. That's
My favorite.
oh okay. What would you like? Would you like a grande of that?
Let me tell you, barista, I'm not here for coffee. I'm here for some advice. You see, I need to go to the prom.
I'm not allowed to give advice unless you buy coffee.
Will you go to the prom with me?
Yes, and scene. Okay, good job, guys. Good job.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
The Airship players.
I
Well-
was trying to emulate a little bit of the old Godfather. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh no, I totally got the right height for that. Yeah.
Yeah, giraffe.
Oh no, you're really good at expressing height through your sounds. It's impressive. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I like this new improv bit. I think it should be our show closer every time.
Okay, that sounds good. Sounds good to me.
It's
We'll get.
also this time right now.
And we'll see you guys later. Have a good week. We'll see you. We'll see you when we see you.
Thanks for hanging with us today at Airship Archaeology. Join us again next time for more scintillating discussion. I, for one, cannot wait. I have been the announcer guy, and I'm signing off. Cheerio.